Welcome to NDE Stories. Have you ever wondered what happens when you get electrocuted? What about when you step to the edge of life itself? What lies beyond the veil of the known in the moments between life and death? Near-death experiences, mysterious, transformative, and often profoundly life-changing, offer a glimpse into this enigma. Across cultures, continents, and centuries, countless individuals have returned from the brink of death with incredible stories. Today, we are talking to Sal. Here is his story.
My name's Sal. I am 39 years old. This happened about 15 years ago. I was helping my uncle out at his house. I had some handyman skills, and he had asked me to lend him a hand, being younger than him and wanting to get the job done quickly so both of us can go about the day. He had this old house he had inherited from his father, my grandfather. He had asked me to put an outlet in for his garbage disposal, which was something I had done before, and I figured it would take me about an hour or two. My uncle had told me the breaker was shut off, and I didn't check for myself. I went to strip the wires, and when I went to strip the hot wire, I put my finger on the metal of the pliers, and my arms and legs were grounded, so the current went through me. First, I felt the surge of electricity travel through my fingers, through my body, to my heart, my knees, and arm. Then, I went into cardiac arrest. I was told after that my uncle had found me on the floor and called 911. I was revived on the way to the hospital about 20 minutes later. But the interesting thing about that is what happened in those 20 minutes. At first, things were really dark. I was in this limitless space that seemed never ending. I could see a pinpoint of a light very far from me. It all felt like I was dreaming, and I thought I was. My first thought was, I got electrocuted and passed out, and now I'm dreaming. But I had all my sensations, and it felt like a vivid dream. And the next thought I had was, wait, I don't dream. So what is this? I see this pinpoint of light then coming closer, and it's getting faster, almost like I'm in the Midtown Tunnel. But all the lights are out, and I'm traveling faster than I ever have. And me being a sort of thrill seeker, it's this exhilarating experience, and I like it. Then I am surrounded by this light, and I see these figures coming to approach me. Some of them I don't recognize. They look familiar, but I don't know all of them. But among them, I see my grandfather, and he looks young. He died a long time ago, and I never met him. But I can tell it's him because I've seen his pictures. I even tatted a picture of him on my arm. Everything I heard of him from my family, he seemed like this badass back in the day, and everyone would tell me how I reminded them of him. He comes over to me and he says, Sal, I'm glad you're here, but you're not supposed to be. I was confused because I think I'm dreaming the best dream of my life. But his tone changes everything I'm feeling. I start to look all around me and I see all these figures, shapes and colors, with some moving really fast, some slower, and I can feel the energy they have. And I'm told they are souls, so I don't know why. But every question that comes to my mind is being answered telepathically by my grandfather, by the other souls that met me. I'm asking them, so what do I do? When do I go back? And then I see myself. I'm seeing the EMTs working on me in the ambulance. I see my uncle with them. I can hear his thoughts. He's blaming himself, and he has a very worried look on his face. And I'm trying to tell him, don't worry, I'm coming back. It's not your fault. And I'm trying to tell my uncle this, even though the words are not coming out of my mouth. I'm seeing it all like I'm actually there, and then I'm back at this other place where I went when I died. And there's a lot of commotion because I'm not supposed to be there. But I'm looking around and I feel excitement to be there. I see all these souls with nothing but this immense feeling of love around me. And it's funny because I'm not in any rush to go back. And my grandfather then tells me I'm still young, it was not my time. I then see my life kind of flashing before me, the people in my life, and how this would affect them if I were to stay in this place. And I'm shown what would happen, the consequences, and I see my mother getting depressed as a result of me not going back. I see my younger brother also and how it would affect his life. I also get shown the things in my life that would be coming. If I go back, I see myself with little children, a wife, a nice house, all the things I don't have now, or was I thinking of at the time. I'm feeling ready to go back at this point. But before I go back to my body and I see my body again, I can feel this wave of peace through me. I see my uncle again. He's praying for me, and I can feel the words he is saying. I can see him calling my parents, who are also praying and on their way to the hospital. I look back at my body, and then I feel myself going back through the tunnel. I can hear these other souls almost whispering while I'm traveling fast, and I don't know what they're all saying because it's so many souls simultaneously whispering. Some felt like prayers, some felt like they were all saying goodbye to me, some saying we will meet again. Then it's all black again. I'm in my body, and oh man, all the pain comes back. I feel cooked. I come to a couple days later. I was in bad shape, but I knew without a doubt that I had traveled to the place you go when you die. I knew what I saw, experienced with every piece of my soul. It took me a while to recuperate physically, but mentally I was stronger than ever. I definitely don't know what my life would have been like had I not had that experience. I told my mother about the experience, about seeing her dad, my grandfather, and at first she thought I was messing with her. She knows how I can be, somewhat of a prankster. So she thinks I'm playing because she goes to church and believes in heaven and knows that I'm not into any of that. But then I describe him, how he speaks, what he says to me. And she looks at me and knows I'm not lying. I can say I do feel more spiritual after I had the experience. I do pray, especially when I hear someone's in the hospital or not doing well in general, because I felt it when I was dead for those minutes. Maybe those people do. I have never, to this day, have had any dreams of my grandfather since then. But I do think he and the rest of them that have died are able to see us and know what we are up to. The other thing I've taken from my experience is knowing how my thoughts affect other people, how we are all just energy, and being more aware of how my energy is affecting other people. I do get asked a lot if the image I saw of when I got older with children and a wife has come true. And yes, I do have children and a good woman by my side. We haven't tied the knot yet, but I do think it's in the near future.
Thank you for listening to Sal's story. Please don't be like Sal. Always take safety measures when doing work around electricity. Don't attempt to have a near-death experience yourself. If you are grieving the loss of a loved one, please speak with someone and know that you are not alone. Please subscribe to the channel, share with a friend, and click the like button if you enjoyed this story.